In 2009, a rather interesting experiment was held by the now late Professor Stephen Hawking, brilliant theoretical physicist who decided a rather simple experiment might help be able to prove whether time travel is real or is even possible in the future. And no, this test didn't require fancy machinery or scientific equipment. All you needed was a few party hats and a cake. This is the one time that Stephen Hawking hosted a party for time travellers. Hello! Welcome to Brainspill, the laziest show on the internet. My name is Tank, and today we're talking about parties because why not? Everybody loves a good party. Even scientists need to let their hair down every now and again. However, this would be the party of a lifetime because the only people allowed to attend were time travellers. So, time moves forever forward as it always does. Einstein's general theory of relativity seems to offer the possibility that we could warp space and time so much that we could travel back in time. While practically the idea of time travel was not possible, it was believed that theoretically this could maybe be done. Yes, you could have all these fancy theories and scientific analysis, but no, I think that if you really want to test this, let's bring it down to basics. If you want to prove that time travel is real, why not just set up an event where time travellers should attend? And if they don't turn up, then maybe time travel isn't real. Seems like a pretty smart idea. An easy way for a simple solution. So, Stephen Hawking, the man famed for his groundbreaking work in studying black holes and describing the origins of the universe, arranged a party to be held at Cambridge University at midday on the 28th of June 2009, inviting all to a reception, inviting party guests which were exclusively time travellers. Yes, a hip place to be, and of course, that's only where the cool people are invited to. And I would love to turn up to a time traveller party because you could just talk about all the coolest time periods you've been to, or theoretically, where you would go if you could travel through time. But of course, anybody going to this party had to be a time traveller because Stephen Hawking told pretty much nobody. And all he did was create an invitation that he released after the party, meaning that anybody that found this invitation and knew where to go was only able to attend if they were a time traveller, if they were able to go back in time and go to this pretty cool stellar party. I mean, you're going to a party with Professor Stephen Hawking of all people. What's not to love about that? I am hoping copies of it, in one form or another, will survive for many thousands of years. Maybe one day someone living in the future will find the information and use a wormhole time machine to come back to my party, proving that time travel will one day be possible. So yeah, he dressed up all nice, decorated a room ready for the party, and waited for his guests to arrive at midday. Unfortunately, when midday came and went, nobody turned up. Strange. Either Stephen Hawking's not cool enough and nobody came, or the more likely reason is that time travel just isn't possible. Yeah, and my other theory was maybe that it just got lost somewhere, but the sheer fact that you can travel through time and maybe find it at an earlier point in life. I mean, you're talking about Stephen Hawking, he is probably one of the most famous and well-known scientists of his time. Anybody in the future with time travel will probably know who this is. He prepared an invitation providing the exact date, time and location, even with coordinates in space and time, so that any would-be time traveller would know exactly where to go to actually attend this party. He purposely didn't tell anyone with hopes that if someone walked through the door on the hour, they would only have known about the party if they were indeed a time traveller, coming back to drink champagne with Stephen Hawking. And, in my opinion, this as a scientific experiment is pretty awesome. It's simple but effective, and it certainly proves a point. I mean, yes, there may be a few variables involved as to whether people knew about it or whether people wanted to turn up, but the sheer fact that you've got Stephen Hawking running a party, I mean, if you're a time traveller, put it this way, I'd want to go. I want to go meet the guy, particularly if you're in the future, to come back and see Stephen Hawking, meet him and have a nice friendly chat about how right he was about all his theories. Or maybe wrong. Who knows? In the future, things might be completely different to our understanding now, but that's with the benefit and with hindsight of time travel. It would make pretty interesting party and dinner conversation. It is quite sad though that he even said in an interview later on that he sat and waited there for hours and nobody turned up. I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but maybe he just wanted to make sure that people weren't late to his own party. Kinda reminds me of my own birthday party invitations, except my invites weren't just limited to time travellers. Professor Stephen Hawking would pass away on the 14th of March 2018, and whilst he certainly left his mark on the world, it is possible that time travellers may have been aware of this, and a more significant moment in history might have been attending his funeral. So, like many news articles at the time said, there could potentially be time travellers at Stephen Hawking's funeral. So I'll let you be the judge of that. And the reason for this was that comments were made by Stephen Hawking's memorial service, who basically left the door open to the potential concept that time travellers might have come back to attend this very, very important event, saying the following: "We cannot exclude the possibility of time travel, as it has not been disproven to our satisfaction. All things are possible until proven otherwise. But so far we have had applications from all around the world, and we do mean round. There are no flat earthers here." So yeah, just to top this all off and just to kind of clarify a few things, Stephen Hawking wasn't doing this experiment as a be-all and end-all to prove that time travel didn't exist, but it was a nice fun experiment to try and put a theory out there and see whether, anyone would turn up. I mean, it's not a complete be-all and end-all that time travel doesn't exist, but it certainly goes in the right direction to show that, well, there's no evidence to prove it exists. We just think it might because we want it to exist. So, who knows? Maybe there's a lot more at play that we just don't understand with our small, feeble brains, and we may never know. But at the very least, if people keep hosting cool parties like this with the hopes that time travellers might turn up, maybe one day, a time traveller might just decide to go to the party. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe. If you want to be notified as soon as I upload my next video, be sure to hit the bell button. And if you've got any ideas for what topics you'd like me to discuss next, let me know down in the comments below. As always, sources used in the video will be in the description. Do you know what? I would have loved to have known about the party. If he hadn't sent the invite to anybody, I would have just turned up and pretended I was a time traveller, because I think that would have made a pretty interesting story. And I could just basically talk about how the world's going to come to an end in a few years' time, and then watch everyone panic, because I like to cause chaos. I'll see you guys in the next video. Fantastic.